in front of the tree.
Oh my God! It's a Christmas miracle!
Oh my God! Well done.
I just got to show you. I've got nowhere to sit because we cleared out the house today because I'm having the floors sanded. So now there's Maggie. Hello to Lucy. So now I have nowhere to be.
Oh my goodness!
I'm standing in this disgusting junk room. Hello, darling.
Hello. I can't believe this has actually worked. This is amazing.
I can't believe I've actually managed to get on this. I mean, I can't do anything.
My God.
And I've got no makeup on because I've just been rushing around all day. I might actually do my makeup while I'm on this Instagram live.
Well,
I've got to go to a Christmas wreath party.
You're so popular. You know that quite a few people are watching. So as long as you're okay to do your makeup while you've got a bit of an audience, it's not just you and me. Can I just?
That's good you said that because I could have said all sorts.
It's not just you and me, and I know this is a slightly sort of weird because neither of us are very tech savvy at all. So we've just spent the day messaging each other, so like trying to make sure that it works. But it does.
I'm here.
You're here. So look, I'm going to start with a little biog, which is what I do. I do a little update for anyone who doesn't know you. So are you ready? You're sitting comfortably? Anna Maxwell Martin is a British actress. She has won 2 BAFTAs for her portrayals of Esther Summerson in BBC's adaptation of Bleak House and Anne in Channel 4's adaptation of Poppy Shakespeare. She's also known for her roles as DCS Patricia Carmichael in BBC One crime drama Line of Duty and as Kelly Major in Code 404. From 2016, Anna has played one of the lead roles in BBC TV comedy Motherland. Recently, she took part in BBC's Who Do You Think You Are, tracing both her parents' ancestors with emotional results. She was also upset the research took her to Ireland and Scotland and not the Seychelles. She will be back on our screens in the Motherland Christmas special on the 23rd of December, and A Spy Among Friends is streaming now on new channel ITVX.
X channel.
ITVX, which I'm very excited about because hey, another channel with great drama.
ITVX, the new Pornhub of ITV. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Anything nice at your Christmas, love.
I'll be on the sofa for that. So can we just start with that gorgeous knitted nativity set?
Hold on, Lucy, you need to say how we know each other. Have you said?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Lucy's hiding a light under a bushel, a massive bushel. Lucy was my first agent, and not only that, really, you I think that this is true, Lucy, isn't it, that you set me along the path of like self-belief and confidence, and she spent a lot of time saying, no, you're not saying yes to that job, you can get a much better job than that, and seemed to want any money from me, and indeed didn't make any money from me. And that's wonderful, Lucy, and that's probably, she's absolutely #1 instrumental in why I even have a career now.
Oh wow, well that's amazing. Thank you. I don't think that's true, actually. I think that, you know, regardless, you would have just been, I mean, I was with you for the 2 BAFTAs, but I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna go.
Then, quite frankly, it is paled. I mean, where are the BAFTAs now? They're not around, Luce. You need to come back.
I'm coming back. I'll come back and we'll get more BAFTAs. That would be ideal. So I was going to keep quite quiet about that, but thank you, because you know that was my old beloved life, which often I wish I could step straight back into.
Oh, do you? I don't know if you do. It's a bit nutty London now. I'd love to be down where you are, bobbling about and making chocolate truffles. That I don't want to believe you, Luce. That's, I'm sure you do a lot more than that.
No, darling, that's all I do. That's all I do. I just hang out and I bake bread, and you know, I plant tulip bulbs, and yeah. And that's about it, really. And then I make people that I know do Insta lives with me.
And here we are.
And here we are. And I really wanted to talk to you about Christmas, because I feel like we need a bit of that this year. I feel like we need a bit of a sparkly build up to it. And, you know, regardless of the news and all of that shit, it's just really nice to think about the lovely side of it. So I want to go back to your knitted nativity first of all.
Oh, yeah, that's out. I've got that out.
So you've got it out. I mean, what was the story behind it?
The seed of the knitted nativity is that when I met Roger, my late husband, he had a knitted nativity from his mum, Gillian. And I think maybe Gillian had bought it. I don't think it's handed down to her. I think Gillian had bought it, but and it was that knitted nativity. It wouldn't really stand up, so you'd put it out. You'd have to ram it down on the thing, and it had toilet tubes in it, and it was very basic. No, I loved it so much. And that Roger would put out the knitted nativity with the girls every year. And then they'd put baby Jesus, as they called him, into the crib.
Jesus.
Mm. And then Roger and I, a couple of years before Roger died, we separated. And I could, you know, we were really good friends, but I couldn't bear to say, I obviously couldn't have the knitted nativity. It was Roger's. So I thought, I have to have my own. I can't bear to be without it. In some way, I felt it was the same as Roger's, and it was all the same. So I got an old lady. I'm gonna presume she's old. She's probably a really young lady. I got a lady to knit me.
50-something lady.
And something lady to knit me a new one. So now we put that one out. And Roger's is still all hidden away with all these things, which I've not quite done all that yet.
Yeah.
We still put out this. We have two knitted nativities. Yeah. And since then, things have like my best friend Kate, her dad, Malcolm, he used to be one of the top vascular surgeons in the country. He's now retired and he just does a lot of woodworking. And he would make anything you asked him. He just wants to make things out of wood. And so last year he made me a little crib for baby Jesus.
He was the one that made the crib.
He made the crib. So now I have a little crib. And then we add things in, like there are little things that Roger found like in junk shops, like it just be little weird things like little tiny animals, or there's a little metal sort of teapot thing like a samovar that the wise men have with them. So you just collect things and add them in. Yeah.
And you're sort of creating this tableau. So why, because I saw last year that there was a search for knitted roast beef. Why the roast beef?
Oh no, that was years ago. That's when Sparrow, my little one, was very little. And I said, what do you want for Christmas? She said, all I want, mother, is a knitted roast beef. Why couldn't you have just gone through the Argos catalogue and just chosen something normal? No. Okay, and I online, no, there's no knitted roast beefs anywhere. Even I thought I might be able to get a felted one because I had in the past before that bought a felted chicken, but no. And so in desperation, I was on Lorraine that year. I had a show coming out on the BBC for Christmas, and I put a call out. No one answered it.
I see. Really?
No.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that no one who watched Lorraine could knit you a roast beef joint.
If they could, Lucy, it never arrived at my gaff. That's all I'm going to say about that. So,
still looking.
Probably.
Or has Sparrow moved on? Is she moved on from the knitted roast beef?
I'd say about Sparrow is she's embittered, but she's moved on sufficiently.
So tell me about, because you grew up in Yorkshire, didn't you? Your childhood in Beverley. So tell me what your childhood Christmases looked like without knitted roast beef.
Oh, it was a bag of coal. What was our Christmases? What were they like? Well, obviously, Mother didn't cook.
No, I did know that, or I was going to ask what
she was on. Did. So we would go to best friends, and we used to have a really jolly time. We drive over, and their lovely mum, one of my mum's best friends, Jane Zerny, who just passed away very recently, and she would cook and just put on the best time. And there was 5 kids, and we just played lots of Trivial Pursuit, lots of lovely meals. I had my little friend there, Claire. It was so exciting, putting our stockings out, and yeah, we used to have a lovely time. And Mother was just sat napping to Jane. I don't know put at all in that.
But for you, that was the Christmas that summed up Christmas. Did you use it every year?
Don't have a big family, so family in Ireland, and we had a bit of family in Scotland, but they were a long way away, and so our best friends were family, and in lots of ways my best friends are still my family. I'm going straight up to one of my best friends, actually, the whose dad did the crib straight after Christmas. She puts on a stonking Christmas. They have like a 100-foot tree. I mean, it's bigger than the Queen's tree. So yeah, I love being.
Does she do a big? Do you go up there to do like another Christmas with her? Is it a sort of big feast or?
No, it's more like just getting hammered. We go outside, then we start spitting something called tequila rosé onto the fire. That's what the adults do.
That's the
children watching horror.
So
and then Jono, my friend, does some fireworks, and they're pretty dangerous, and that's about the size of it. Yeah.
So it's extreme Christmas, really.
Oh, it's fly by the seat of your pants up there.
And what's tequila rosé? Is it what I imagine is a mix of tequila and rosé?
You don't know. No, it's not. I tell you what, now you don't want it. I don't think in the southwest you'd get it. It's only for some reason the northeast, and it's like a gloopy pink tequila.
Yeah, I mean, you're not selling it to me.
I don't want to. I mean, this is not a platform for selling tequila rosé, is it?
No, it's not making me feel Christmassy. That the idea of it's not, you know, I do like the idea of spitting it on the fire for some reason. You like the jeopardy of that.
You're not really imbibing it, because the fire pit's there, you're glugging and spitting straight away.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow.
Why? We don't know why we do that. That's just one of those lovely Christmas traditions that evolves over time.
Put that in your book. If you ever write a book about Christmas, pop that in.
It would be more of a pamphlet.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do now? What traditions have you adopted from your childhood or from other people, or what do you do for your girls?
I definitely say the only tradition is a welcome house. I would never be like, oh, they're not family, they're not coming in. I mean, I have one of my dearest friends is here and her daughter, and I just want, if anyone was out and about, I'd want them to feel they could.
Yeah.
I don't like anything too stressy.
Yeah.
You're not going to get stressed while you're cooking it. Don't cook it, or get a Chinese. Do you know what I mean? I really love cooking it, and it doesn't stress me out. I don't like any tension on Christmas Day. I don't like people getting funny about, actually their traditions. I just think everybody have a nice time and be relaxed and, play a game and have some nice food. It doesn't have to be perfection. Yeah. And I think I've learned that really well, because Christmas is a really tricky time for me. I've struggled with Christmas since I was very young. My dad's birthday is Christmas Day. I lost him when I was quite young, and he died just before Christmas. We now have we're still right in the eye of the storm in terms of Roger dying 15 months ago. So I don't have this kind of idea that it should be the best day of my life, and I just want everyone to have as nice a time as they possibly can, and that it feels real. And if anyone wants to have a little cry, have a little cry. that's it for me. It's just got to be
Yeah.
really, I couldn't be around anyone stressing anymore about Christmas. I'd just be like, Jesus Christ, your pigs in blankets aren't perfect. Who gives a shit? I don't.
I think I think it's really important. When I wrote the Christmas book, that was one of the things that I was most concerned about, was this sort of idea of perfection, and this idea of people picking up the book and going, oh, that's great, that's great, that's great, oh, I can't do that, oh, I've got this thing, you know. There was people to be so stressed about it that it would just ruin the thing about what you just want to be with the people that you love, eat some nice food, hang out, you know. That's it. It's as simple as that. And also,
versus from being in the kitchen going, right,
yeah,
everyone quickly. It's like,
yeah, it's
it's about people together. Like, it's not,
but the problem is that when you're in that situation, it also highlights the people who aren't there. It also highlights the people who you've lost, who you aren't celebrating with, who aren't, and that time has moved on, and they're not catching up with you. They're not there for them, and that's incredibly hard. And I don't know anyone who doesn't have that. I don't know anyone who, as grown-ups, we've all got that, haven't we? Whether it's a parent, partner,
That's right, we all have that, but I think we also have, sorry, make it sound really negative. I'm not a negative person, as you know, Liz, but I think we also have a lot of Christmas FOMO, don't we? That we feel that people are having bigger, better, more familial type traditional Christmases with some kind of fire involved and no tequila rosé. I think that you just have your little group that you have, and that's okay. And yeah. I think I'm very lucky I have children. So I'm very blessed. I have 2 kids, and Christmas is really, you just focus on them. You want to have them time, the stocking, and they wake up in the morning and the stocking's at the end of their bed. And as long as that's happening, everything's sort of okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the story, which it was a really amazing thing, because I'm going to take this opportunity to big up my kids, because why not? Last year, obviously, we were having a tricky time, and it'd only been a couple of months since Rog, and we decided, I think we were in a sort of little lockdown as well.
Yes.
And 3 of us decided we'd just be on our own. And people said, oh, that's not the best thing. You should be at ours. And we're like, no, we just want to be on our own so we can just actually watch films and cuddle on the sofa. Yeah. One of the last things, I don't know why, weirdly, Roger gave me just before he died, 4 weeks before he died. He said, oh, darling, I've got you something. I've been down at the whatever. And he got me this linen stocking. I don't know why. It doesn't have my initial on it. It has some random initial on, like J. I don't know why.
What old French linen thing, or
like a big French linen thing?
Yeah.
And I woke up so I put the girls to bed, and I bubbled around doing their stockings. You've got to be Santa, doing their stockings and all that. Went to bed, and then I woke up in the morning, and there was the filled stocking at the end of my bed. That stocking Roger had given me, filled with wrapped presents at the end of my bed. And when because you move your feet and there's like a rustle, and you're like, oh, and my kids had stayed up until they did to be asleep the whole time while I was sneaking in doing Santa. And then they got up and they'd been out and bought these things and filled the stocking that Roger had given me and put it at the end of my bed.
Oh, those girls.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like, there's nothing better than that, is there?
No, I mean, that is Christmas.
And I felt incredibly loved, and we've all felt very loved. They probably didn't feel as loved as I did. But that was really lovely.
That's fantastic. I mean, that is the spirit of Christmas. It's that simple, isn't it? It's that, your kids or someone thinking of you and making it special, making it, I just think that's such a lovely thing to do.
I mean, of course, this year I'm going to knock them out with some kind of sedative and make sure then they are actually asleep. I'll be like, if it's like the Baracus in the 80s, I'll be like, drink your milk, children, laced with drugs. They'll just be so the other I have from when I was little at the Zernies is my friend Claire and I. So the big tradition is a chocolate orange for me and my brother, right? I'd be fine with no other present but chocolate orange. I remember, in fact, the first year my mother just didn't bother to get us one. And Adam and I were both livid. I can't tell you. We hauled her over the coals. We were like,
where's your Roz?
The freaking chocky orange, mum. Yeah. Like, couldn't believe it. She thought we were too old. I think she must have been smoking a crack pipe. Anyway, we always had the chocolate orange. And me and Claire, when we were little, we'd get our chocolate orange in our stocking. And we would get into the bath later that day on Christmas Day together. We'd take our chocky orange into the bath, and then we'd take each segment off and we'd dip it in the water of the bath, and then we'd rub it on the tiles of the bathroom, and then we'd lick it off like that. And that's how we'd eat the entire chocolate orange.
So like a sort of melted, like a hot chocolate style.
Yeah, you dip it in the bath with you.
Yeah.
You're rubbing it on the tiles, yeah, and then you're licking it off the tile.
That I have never heard of eating a chocolate orange like that.
No, but you should try it this year. You and Steve, get in the bath together and try that.
I'm going to give that a go because I love a new tradition, and that's the other thing. That's that's why I'm doing the Insta lives, is to just get everyone.
And cleaning your bath. You won't have to go over that again till February.
Oh God, that is hilarious. That is just that they are the sort of stories that I did not expect you to tell me. Completely thrown me.
Yes, I need to try and make my girls do that this year. Yeah.
That's the other problem, isn't it? That that we've grown up with certain things, and then we try to sort of do that with our kids, or say, this, and they like, it's not going to work.
I think that our kids expect much more elaborate stuff. Like, we just had like a satsuma and a chocky orange, didn't we, in a stocking?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Well, obviously, there's obviously stuff we do. There's obviously stuff Father Christmas brings as well. So, Father Christmas will fill some of the stocking, and then, we might top it up with a something.
Oh, is that true?
But there's certain...
And then the presents for the tree are from me,
And I think that, there's also, I mean, we've never done, for example, thank God, elf on the shelf on the elf. I mean, I don't, and I can't, how do people do that? Because that's something that I just think, how do you stay sane and get through December whilst also doing elf on the shelf?
Sober. I mean, I'm going out tonight. I'd be too pissed to be placing an elf around the house. Maggie said to me the day, she went, "Do you know what, Mummy? You won't be able to do elf on the shelf." What? Oh, right. Why won't I be able to do elf on the shelf? She said, because you'd put it in the most disgusting sexual positions around the house. That's what you would do. I don't know who you think your mother is.
But I think this is the problem with it, because you start with these great intentions, and I saw someone the other day who sort of wrecked their kitchen and then put the Hoover in, and and I thought, that's the sort of 2nd of December. So, oh no, you've gone too. You need to start with just a couple of sweet wrappers, just a couple of empty sweet wrappers.
I don't think I understand it. I thought you just hid it around the house.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've never done it, but I can see from social media that it seems to be that the elf does really bad things that it then gets in trouble for.
But how are children doing bad things that they're getting in trouble for? Why do I need an elf doing bad things?
No. So messing things up, eating things they shouldn't, that misbehaving. So yeah, I'm really happy that we never started. Those traditions, I think, oh God, I'm really glad that we didn't start doing that, because that's just too much.
I'm a single parent. I can't be tidying up and then messing it all up. You must be just...
No, that would be crazy. And one of the things that we I was thinking about this earlier actually, because one of the things that we try and do is go to the theatre, or try and go and see something every year. And I was reminiscing about your fantastic Lyra at the National, which of course felt really Christmassy to me. And I suddenly realised, I was thinking that's always felt like a really Christmassy production, that His Dark Materials has always felt. And I thought that's because it premiered in December. It opened in December.
Good. Yeah.
But was it a show? Was that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was, because they wanted me to go back the year after at Christmas. So yeah, it must have been the big. I think they do always try and do a big snazzy show at Christmas, and also something that's kid appropriate, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And I thought that's some.
Are you going to see it this year, or are you not going to bother?
Going to go and see what? Sorry.
Are you going to go and see something this year?
Well, we haven't sorted that out yet. Actually, the last couple of years, because of COVID and blah blah blah, I haven't booked anything. But what would you recommend? Is there anything you're going to see?
No, I took the girls. Oh, maybe I took Maggie a couple of years to see Christmas Carol at the Old Vic when Rhys Ifans was doing it, and he was unbelievable, and I really cried. In fact, everybody really cried. It's amazing, isn't it? When you're in a theatre, you look around, and everybody, all the guys, everyone's like, ah!
And Rhys Ifans got that thing about him anyway, hasn't he? He's got that really sort of.
He definitely has. And I made sure afterwards, and I threw myself, at him and told him he had that thing. Yeah. But this year, actually, I'm going to see a Friends show, which is also Christmas Carol, weirdly, but she's in a version with Simon Russell Beale. It's just 3 of them, and we're all going because she's like one of our Bezzy mates, so we're going to take all the kids and go to that.
Oh, fantastic. Look, I'm just looking at trying to, with my terrible eyesight, trying to read what people are saying, and someone's asked if there's any panto in the works.
I love panto. My favourite people, Julian Clary, who writes amazing books for children called The Bolds. He writes a panto every year, co-writes it. I think it would be absolutely brilliant to be in one of those.
I always think the Palladium looks like
amazing.
Amazing, because also, I don't want to be too London centric, but if you're in the Palladium and you come out, then you could still go and meet people for drinks, and you get all that really lovely city buzz of being in the middle of things rather than being away somewhere.
Liz, I'm getting the real feeling from you that you go into London and have a high time.
Dorset. I know.
I take my children to the panto, and then I could come out and I could still get down Soho House and get off my chain. Bye, kids. You come on the tube.
Merry Christmas. Okay, what I've got to ask you about, because there's so many people that are saying motherland. The old episodes of Motherland, which various friends have said to me, they're just a balm for the soul. We all watch them. We all feel a bit down. I'll stick on an episode of Motherland. And I just rewatched last year's Christmas special, which, just fantastic. The bits where you call yourself the Christmas slave, and then right at the beginning of the episode, there's the turkey and all the food on the kitchen counter, and you're like, I've just got to do all of this. And I feel like that, probably on the 23rd of December every year, and there's sort of, and things like carols by scented candlelight. Help yourself to a panettone from the panettone pyramid as you lit.
Amanda is so funny in that.
Oh my God, it's just brilliant. I would love to have a party and set up a panettone pyramid at the door so that as people left, they could take it. It's just
in that. She's so funny in that outfit even.
Oh God, there's the whole.
Got another Christmas special this year.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. What What can you tell us?
Oh, it's like it's happy and sad this year.
Right. Okay. Okay. Because actually, that's what. But that's the lovely thing about. Well, about Motherland, but also particularly about the last Christmas special was that it captured all of those elements of Christmas. It captured the hell, but it also captured the emotion, and then and those sort of comments where Lucy Punch says, actually, I've got this big house, but I'm not going to have it next year, and just that sort of the layers to it are fantastic and really beautifully performed by all of you. Really, so well portrayed. I mean, Paul Red.
I do every season, which is it's all very funny and gaggy, and then I think especially for Julia, you draw to the end of the season, and Julia actually has a proper real moment of where it's good because you're playing a stressed person. That's funny, that's comedy. I mean, it's rooted in obviously real feeling, because all comedy has to be, otherwise it's not very funny.
Yeah.
But it always comes to a point with Julia where it really is too much for her, and she really has messed up.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about Motherland. It's funny, but then actually always for Julia, it's like she always oversteps the mark. She always goes too far. She always realizes she screwed up. And yeah, that's what I like about it. Oh yeah, I like lots of things, but I like being with all the guys, because they are the sweetest people ever.
I think we'd all want to just be in that green room with you guys when you turn up to work. I think it must be hilarious. I mean, that just must be fantastic.
Funny, I can't tell you really how funny Paul Reddy is. It's hard to explain how much. I mean, I love them all. I mean, Di and Paul and I are very close. I was with Di the other day because we were doing some fundraising for Battersea. Both of us support Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, and there was the big, when you go to the city and raise money on the or the what's it floor. Did all that, and we did an episode with Paul O'Grady on For the Love of Dogs this year as well, me and Di, which was like one of my dreams come true. So we're all very close as a group, and everybody's just very funny and very sweet.
Yeah.
Philippa, who plays Anne, is also just genuinely the sweetest, but everybody's lovely and everybody's very funny. Like, we laugh. Especially Paul and I now, we just laugh all day.
Really naughty? Are you really badly behaved?
Awful. Yeah.
So, my friend Jessamy just said, are the characters based on real people?
No, I don't think so. And I think the reason that the answer specifically is that when we started the show, we ostensibly started with Graham Linehan and Sharon, and Graham actually directed the pilot. So Graham, Father Ted, basically, he was all of Father Ted, and really the parts we auditioned for, they just all morphed into other things, because in that pilot. And then in the first season with Graham, certainly I went on to improvise a lot of stuff, and you just like, you evolve the character, and then that carried on, and then I sort of provided storylines over the years, and so you're sort of evolving the character. So they're not anyone; they just sort of turned into who they were. I think, sort of an amalgam of things.
And that, I think that's what's so brilliant about it as well, that you've each you've inhabited that character and you've taken it forward, and now we all feel like Julia exists beyond that. Actually, we know you all, that and there are so many elements of people that we know or are us. That you feel so in it, so completely in it. And I think that's why people go, oh God, I feel a bit depressed today, I'll put on an episode of Motherland, because it's funny, but also because there is a reality to it. I mean, there's a slapstickness and there's excess, but
I would approach all comedy through reality. For me, doing drama and comedy are no different. They're just no different. I'm not going to comment on a joke. I'm not going to comment on my performance, whether it be drama or comedy. They're just the same. Yeah. So, and I think when we first started, there was a bit of whisperings, you know, like there is, like, oh God, Julie's not going to be very likable and people won't like you if you do that. And I thought, well, this is how some people are. People aren't likable all the time. Julia can really be let down her friends really badly. She does lots of things I would never do. She can be a cow to her friends. She's really solipsistic, really thinks about herself continually. She's an utterly selfish person. But that's funny and that's real for some people, you know. But then underneath that is that she's just very stressed all the time and she really feels the burden of family life. And I've really enjoyed that. I don't want to particularly play somebody that I think, will people like me or will they not if I do this? I don't really have any interest in that. Yeah.
Julia does, you know, she does have her saving graces. She does have her moments where she suddenly goes, oh, right, you know, I know what I need to do here, or reaches out to someone, or does enough to keep you.
Does enough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She definitely does the baseline for Kevin this Christmas episode and no more.
So we don't really see Paul. Is it Paul's her husband, isn't it? Is it Paul?
Yeah.
So we don't really see him, which is great actually, because we don't need that, you know, although there was that gorgeous scene at the end of the last series, but you know, and also we never meet Jill.
Oh God, Jill is one of the funniest creations of all time. Jill up in the attic.
Yeah, we never meet Jill.
No,
but we don't need to.
No, you know, I never ever.
Yeah,
just too funny. I resisted ever them being in the same room, Paul and Julia. And then I think you feel a show is starting to come to a natural end, and so maybe there was the decision behind that. And Paul is in the Christmas episode. It's really funny actually what Ollie does with it. He's not really in the same room. I won't give anything away, but it's funny. Very funny. Yeah.
So the Christmas special, is that the start of the next series, or is it just standalone? Oh, you can't tell. You can't say.
Okay.
But we know it's.
I think the thing where you know you do have to, with comedy, know when to leave on a high.
Yeah.
So don't know. We'll see.
But you can't leave us. I mean, you can't. You actually can't leave us.
You can't leave us.
You can't. I mean, you obviously go and do other jobs. Don't go and do other acting roles. Go, you know, get back on the stage. Do some film. You know, let's get the Coen brothers. Let's get that back. Let's do all of that. But you can't leave Julia.
Oh, one sec. That's a delivery. Thank you.
Right. While she's gone, does anyone have any questions? Back. I was just asking if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask, because I've got a couple of little questions left, but I'm just going to see, and I'm going to have to sit like this so that I can actually read the questions. Someone said, "Don't stop." Don't stop this, or don't stop Motherland. Don't stop being you, probably. Don't stop being you. So let's see if there are any more questions. Let's just to get back to Christmas. What's on your Christmas list this year? Anything?
God, it's funny, Lucy. You like this? I always think I can't think of a single thing I want. Are you like that?
Yes, because if you asked me that now, I wouldn't. I mean, I just say socks, books, socks. Alan Rickman's memoir, their diary. You know, that's the sort of stuff like that, really.
I can't ever think of anything I would want. I really honestly can't. I'm not really asked about presents.
Just ask Anna, did Lucy ever teach you to cook anything?
No, she was actually a useless agent in that, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't part of my agent's skill, was it?
No. She did a lot of drinking and she was actually intoxicated most of the time. I couldn't get to it.
More questions. Let's just find some more questions. So this is what I'm asking everyone who has been lovely joining me on the Insta Lives. So Christmas book, favourite Christmas book, or something that makes you, so we've had Little Women, what else have we had?
Well, I loved your book last year, Luce.
Thank you.
I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I did really love your book. I don't Christmassy book, not Little Women. I find it so depressing, that book. I don't know. I'm in a bit of book mourning at the moment because I've just finished a book from my favourite author that I loved so much, and so every book's going to be shit now.
Oh God, what have you just finished?
The latest, Kate Atkinson.
Oh, she's fantastic.
So I'm a bit like, I thought I'm just going to read a Jilly Cooper because what's the point of life anymore?
I think you need to.
And then the Jilly Cooper I was reading didn't even have any sex in it. So it was literally pointless. It was just horse names. That was it. I read the Kate, all right, well, this is my life's over because I've finished the Kate Atkinson now. So I'll just read this Jilly Cooper, at least have some sex in it. No.
Nothing.
No.
You see, that's it. That's really well. Maybe you need to move on to. Oh, can I tell you what I've just read, which is the Maggie O'Farrell, A Marriage Portrait.
Oh, is that good?
That's so good. I think you go to next.
I'm going to go down our bookshop in Kentish Town tomorrow and get it.
Yeah, that is honestly that I saw her on a being interviewed recently, and she was fantastic. And also another brilliant book from someone who is local here and who's fab, and I know. So I'm going to name drop this. It's a brilliant writer called Joanna Quinn, and she's just written The Whalebone Theatre, which has got film all over it. It's called, it's The Whalebone Theatre. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to drop that one in as well.
Okay, I'll have a little look out.
Various people asking favourite Christmas song. Slade?
I like choirs.
Oh.
If I'm not allowed to say Busta Rhymes, then I'm going to say a choir.
You can have whatever you want.
I don't know if I like Christmas songs.
No, I think choir sounds good.
All I'm playing at the moment is old Busta Rhymes songs, so I don't think I like Christmas songs. They are not really annoy me. But I do like carols. I like going to the carols.
Are you going to a carol concert this year? Are you doing a?
I was going to take the girls to the Battersea Dogs one.
Yeah.
But then we just had my little one was in community panto, so we just got our lives got swallowed up by community panto last week. So I don't know. I do like to take them to a crib service. I might take them to the crib service at our church.
Yeah, that's really lovely. We go to one. We try and go to one every year as well, well, I love it. I really love it.
Well, you're maybe a bit old now, your kids, but when they take up the little things to the front of the thing to put them in the crib.
I know.
Love that.
I know. But I've always wanted to go to one that's like the Vicar of Dibley and it's got real animals. I want an actual donkey.
Well, I think probably that's considered cruelty to animals now, Luce. But yeah, fine. Make that happen next year.
But, we can give it a go. Favourite film? People are asking, what's your favourite film?
Christmas film.
Christmas film.
I was about to say Ted, which is my favourite film. Have you seen Ted?
No.
Oh my God. You and Steve watch Ted tonight. About a little teddy bear who's just constantly bonking and smoking weed. That's my favourite film. But films, I absolutely love Nativity.
That's the beginning of Christmas, isn't it?
Totally. I say to the girls, no, it came on the other night. I went, turn it off. We're just watching it near Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. What's Tessa's saying? We're going to have a donkey at our village nativity.
Look at that for you. Well,
That's near Frome. I need to get over there. She's near Frome.
That's a long way from you, isn't it, Ty?
It's still quite a long way from me, that's true. But it's worth it for a donkey, isn't it?
It's in between you and Soho House, isn't it, Frome?
I wouldn't know. So we've talked about the choir, we've talked about nativity, love it. What about an ingredient or a dish, or what's the one thing?
Sprouts.
Well, sprouts. Okay, what do you do? Sprouts.
Sprouts. Prunes wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
I do like chestnuts.
Yeah. Would you put the chestnut sprouts?
I might do, but I wouldn't put bacon in.
No. Okay.
Too much.
Too much. Yeah.
And I love bread sauce. My problem is I now no longer have Roger. So there were lots of Roger foods, or my favourite foods at Christmas, right? So Roger,
amazing cook, wasn't he? He was
he was a really good cook. And so these are things I've had to do without since Roger, because even when we separated, he was a very proud cook. So I'd say, darling, you are still going to make me my chicken liver pate and the Christmas ham. And he'd go, oh, God, we're not together anymore. I'm not going to do that. And then he couldn't resist not doing it. I knew what I was doing. And so there'd be a knock at the door next day and he'd hand over the chicken liver pate. Good. So and now it's gone. So the chicken liver pate, don't have that anymore. The Christmas ham I don't want to make if it's not Roger's.
Yeah.
The I used to make, I really loved. And yummy bread sauce. But I will make bread sauce.
I think bread sauce is I mean, for me, and I've said this, I'll probably say this on every Insta Live. If I had a bowl of bread sauce and pigs in blankets and I could just dip them, that would be, if that's all I had.
Same. If I just had sprouts, bread sauce,
yeah,
pigs in blankets, and then sometimes I do this Gordon Ramsay. It's not really stuffing. It's like dry. It's like breadcrumbs and loads of herbs and loads of butter and pine nuts, toasted pine nuts, and you do it in a. This is a frying pan, guys.
That's a BAFTA award-winning frying pan. That is BAFTA award-winning.
Sprinkled on top. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds fantastic. So just before we go, because I know that you've got to go, you've got a wreath thing, and I've got to go and watch Strictly because it's a semi-final.
I know, I'm missing Strictly because of the wreath thing. I'm absolutely livid.
So if any more questions, just ping them on the bottom. Sorry, I'm trying to see that and concentrate.
I am to promote my new show because it's so good. I never ever say that. I usually say things are rubbish. It's Damien Lewis and I in a new show called Spy Among Friends on ITVX, the new Pornhub. We're not having it off, but we are spying and sneaking up on people in very slow vehicles, and it's really good. So watch it.
That's amazing. I read a Guardian interview with you where you said that the tights were really itchy. So in the sitting down behind the desk scenes, you took your tights down.
No, desk and car. So in fact, I'd be next to Damien in the car, and I go, Damien, I get that. They get turning over and action. And then I go, they've got to come off, love. They're going to have to come off.
Oh, that is so funny. Well, I mean, it's worth watching for that alone to see if we can tell the bits where you've taken your tights off.
Yeah, have a look for them.
But it sounds fantastic, and it's had great reviews as well. So that's on my Christmas list.
It's a lovely man, Gary, who wrote Homeland. So it's really, really brilliant.
And people asking, would you do Strictly?
No, because I can't dance.
Okay. Yeah,
I do very well, which I'd find a bit difficult because I would want to do well.
Yeah,
and I want to sit at home and watch it. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I think it's such an enjoyable, feel good.
Want to win.
That's really hard now because I actually find that really difficult. I think Hamza's amazing.
I love Ham. I love Fleur, but now I also love Will.
Yeah, Will's brilliant. But then, you know, Helen is just, she's storming it.
But I love Hamza, but I love Hamza, but then I love Fleur because she's just like the most bright star person, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's what I love about this year's final. It's going to be impossible. It's going to be impossible, but it's going to be nail biting. And I think Claudia Winkleman and Tess, you know, just such a brilliant job as well.
oh, I know.
Claudia's hilarious.
She's gorgeous, Claudia. Just did a pilot with her for a new chat show she might do. Don't know.
Oh God, yeah, we want more of her on the telly as well.
Yeah, she's fab. She's lovely.
People asking what. So I'm just going through here. Or have you worked with Damien before? Emma's asking. Have you ever worked with Damien before?
No, Damien, ostensibly only because he's a neighbour and his voice is very loud. So I've heard around the around the neighbourhood. I've known of him for years and years and years, but we've not worked together. But he is just a lovely person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. That's so. There's someone saying that you're the nation's sweetheart for real.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet.
Lovely. That's so.
Say.
And any plays next year? That's another question. Any plays?
I did Constellations last summer with Chris O'Dowd in the West End, and I did that really because the play is just so good.
Yeah.
Play, and it's really difficult now. I'm a single mum to go out and do a show every night. And at that time, sort of Roger was supporting that, me doing the play. So yeah, it's a bit tricky at the moment.
Yeah. Is there something you'd really love to do? Is there one that you'd love to do in the future?
I wouldn't mind giving a musical another go because I was so intense when I did it last time. I was absolutely mental off my box, and I'd like to do it and have real fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, on the town, or Guys and Dolls, or something fun. Yeah.
And various people saying you should be on I'm a Celebrity. Would you ever do that?
I've been asked, yeah. But I couldn't leave my kids that long. I couldn't leave. You have to leave your kids for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
There's just no way I would ever do that. I also would find it really crushing if the people weren't really lovely and had bants and were having a laugh.
Yeah.
If they were grumpy, I'd find that really tricky. And if they were sort of really moody or not funny, I would find it really hard. But I couldn't leave my kids for that long.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a huge amount, and I think it's also down to the luck of casting, isn't it? Of who else is in there, and how you all get along. I think that's
when they're casting that show, they wanted to be divisive. I think they thought having Matt Hancock in would be much more divisive.
Yes.
Than it was, but there was very much a sort of, I felt, Stockholm mentality where they all just went, no, we need to make this as nice as possible, so we won't put our head above the parapet and say what the actual were you doing, you know? Yeah. And they were very sweet to him, you know, wonderfully. They were really sweet, as they should be, because no one should be bullied in there or anything like that, or attacked or vilified. But I think clearly the producers have done that because they think there's going to be, and I can't really be around moods or drama or stuff. It doesn't make me, I don't like people changing the atmosphere of a room.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't like people having a mood.
Well, I remember when they were talking about when I was an agent, and they were still discussing, you know, this new show, and they rang about a client and they said, we're going to do this new show and it's called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And I just said, like, I just thought that's never going to work. I said, that won't last. I said, that's
it's good that you're not an agent anymore, because you didn't have a clue. Quite clear. You spent your whole time in Soho.
Idea.
Were. Now you're down there, and you're just, all you're doing is bobbling off to the Carol concert with a donkey. And
Yes,
that's probably the best thing.
I think that is the best thing. What are you doing a wreath making now? Is that what you're going off to do right now?
Yeah, two of my best friends, what we do every year is that's what we do. We make a wreath with copious amounts of alcohol.
That sounds fantastic. Well, look, I'm going to let you go and do that. We just had so many lovely questions in, and people joining us now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt, I think I can do it, to save this chat, so people can log on and listen to us going on whenever they want. And I think the memory of you in a chocolate orange in the bath is going to stay with me.
Go and get Steve now and have a little go with Steve now.
Actually, he doesn't like chocolate orange.
Find something else. It'll be all his Chrissy dreams come true, Luce.
Maybe some after eights.
Actually, you could draw with those, couldn't you? You could make little messages for each other.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. It's been so lovely to talk.
Oh, thank you, Di. It's lovely to see your face.
Really lovely. Thank you for joining my Insta Live and agreeing to do it, and just being so generous with your time and answering questions and being lovely. Always, always.
Makeup on, but other than that, it's all good.
It's fantastic. And let's just do a final mention of A Spy Among Friends. It's available now, isn't it? It's been available for the last couple of days.
On ITVX. It came out on Thursday.
Yeah, great. So go to ITVX. Or be tuning in on the 23rd for the Motherland Christmas special.
Oh, is that when it is?
It's the 23rd of December. Yes. Right. See, I took my interviewing role really seriously and I did my research.
Yeah, no, you've actually remembered my name.
Remembered your name and everything.
23rd, right? Is that when it's on? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, 23rd. So everyone will be tuning in.
All right, darling.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Bye. Merry Christmas. Thanks, guys.
I don't know how to leave.
I'll do it.
How on earth do I leave?